ground to flight deck. Fuel is all loaded up and you are good to go.
Sorry about that music. I thought it would stop, but I obviously mistimed that little bit. So anyway, welcome. And hello, Matt. Nice to see you on stream. Let me just open up Kevin's mic here as well. Kevin, welcome, and your mic is now hot on YouTube.
Thank you very much, and welcome to everybody.
Excellent. Okay. Guys, I'm just horsing around. Okay, there's no specific reason why I'm doing this flight. I just want to throw in a couple of things. Kevin, I think I told the guys last weekend we're going to play around a little bit with this EFB and then we'll give them some feedback. So I think now is as good as time as any, and you know, while I'm setting everything up, I'm just going to quickly just hint at that, and then maybe Saturday morning we'll really get into it, you know, to get the guys to see it and all the rest, you know, more thoroughly, I suppose.
Yeah, good idea.
Make sure that music is really gone, because it sounds like I'm still hearing music. I don't know. Could be from next door. But So, if you're not flying with, I'm not going to fly now. We'll keep that off. If anybody wants to fly with, now's the good time to tell me that you want to fly with, and I'll quickly get the sim connected to IVAO. Right, hello 737. Right, I haven't done the FMC, and I haven't done, I think it's the FMC that's left. Yeah, the rest is done. It's just the FMC that I need to do. I've already loaded the aircraft and all those things. So why don't we jump in there quickly then? So we're going to go EGPH and EGFF. Session. It's the actual start. Oh, sorry, it actually showed me that. I thought it moved off screen. Okay, so let's go step through this. See if it will work. Okay, let's get some going as well. And first 989. Wow. Hello, Steve, and welcome, sir. He's got a little teardrop behind him. Seems fine. Given,
Yes, sir.
just FYI, I don't use the same sequence of starting up as you do with the EFB, so in case you see me do it slightly different to you, don't worry too much about it.
Yeah, everybody has their own way of doing things, Nico.
Yeah, I'm just telling you up front, so you don't go, oh no, the idiot shouldn't do it that way. Then you can help me right later, okay?
Right, yeah.
I know you won't do it, I'm saying it more tongue-in-cheek, but I think you understand.
I do.
Right, and CS3. Actually, put that on screen. I was gonna. It's quiet here on Discord, eh?
Cheers tonight. I don't know where everybody is.
I updated my flight roster anyway, so you can see my plans. And then let's just hope the plans come to fruition and that I don't fall asleep again some Saturday afternoon, Righto, guys, so this is the place I'm going to quickly bring the EFB into play, and we're going to quickly look at a couple of things. So just to show you, this is from the VA website, and that's obviously no aircraft desktop charts that's incorporated. This is our airport where we located, Edinburgh, and we will have that set going out, actual flight route, and the start as our teardrop. And the reason I'm showing you all this is just so you can put it in the back of your mind what it looks like and what it used to look like for most people. Okay, and then I'm going to quickly jump into this EFB. Change the display capture. There you go. So this is minimizing so you can see the whole page. This is the Ivalasoft EFB. Couple of people contacted me after last weekend, Kevin, and they said, what did you have on your screen? What's that? What's that? Well, this is it. This is the Ivalasoft EFB. As you can see, it shows us our little aircraft there. There are things you can switch on and off here at the bottom to give you more or less information. The red guy over there is actual IVAO traffic. We're not connected on the network, but the EFB is. And I'm not going to go switch it on or off just because, of course, you know what I mean, traffic there. I might as well keep it on. It's as easy as clicking a button.
Yeah, it's always nice to see the other traffic anyway.
Yeah. Now, I've selected runway 24, and as you can see, look at the wind. The wind's very dynamic, but it's only 4 knots. Okay, so it's much of a muchness. I really don't care. Look, it's swinging right around now. Just shows you how that wind moves. So I don't care. I'm going to take off runway 24, you know, come this way. Now, here's the nice thing about this. Okay, because of my sequence of doing things and already having everything set up, I'm just checking quickly my PHP VMS. Yeah, my V8 line is connected. So because we've done everything already and there is a SuperChat flight plan, we can use the import facility and we can. What happened now? Why does it just get this thing sorted? Right. Okay, we're back to normal. Right, so I'm going to use my sim brief and I'm going to import this. Next. Alright, it obviously picks up a couple of things from, you know, some brief and the OFB there. Just going to click next. Right, so effectively you'll see it's put the basic route in. There's no sudden start at this point in time. I'm going to show you how that works. But one of the things that it does give us is also this little thing. It's called the Atc Ribbon. Right? You also get a radio if you click that button, which is much more elaborate than this thing. But basically what happens is it will put all the IVAO frequencies for you in order, and if you have auto scroll on, it will kick the ones that you're done with off the tape if it needs to create more space, and it will tell you which one is available. It will give you access to the 8 tests and a whole bunch of other things in here. So I'm just going to move that. And then we can actually look at our departure. If we look at our departure, now opens up yet another little window for us. Now I'm going to have to get my, now we go back on my screen. There we go, because it's easier to just read from there. So to set up a departure, you use this little widget thing over here, and we're going to select the runway. And what did we say? We're going to take LA 6 Charlie. Right, so there you can see it's put in the actual set for us, and all I do is set the flight plan. It takes out the direct to and basically incorporates that now into our flight plan. Right. I will come back to this screen in a short while because we need it for the next screen in the Zibo. But I want to also quickly do the arrival while we are busy. So here's the arrival widget, and for the arrival we are planning ILS Zulu for 30. So Zulu for 30, we definitely want that one. And I think it's that one. No, it's not. It's that one. Right, so there you can see same story. There's our star, it comes in. There's our little teardrop. Okay. You can see. Then all we do is set the flight plan, and then puts it in the right place and takes away the direct to. Right. So far so good. Now the reason I want to come back to the departure page is because of the performance. Right? But before we get into that, I just want to show you, look how neat this is. Hello Scotsman. It is the Ivlasoft EFB. I'm going to quickly type it here. Right, this is payware. Before we go too far, this is payware, guys. It is 59 Swiss francs. I think that's what they call it, CH, something like that.
Yeah, Swiss francs, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that translated to something like $64, speaking under correction. I owned the previous version 1, so I got a discount when I bought this one, because I just bought it. I mean, it's a nice to have. It's a good tool for flight simulators. But if you have a whole bunch of other things, there are only certain things you're going to use of this. If you have nothing and you start from scratch, this is a good place to start anyway. Okay, so let's get this thing off the page for us. I'm going to throw it that side. Now here's what's nice. Okay, I also own Topcat. Yeah, it's nice to show the variations. So yeah, I want to show, it's all about education, show and tell, all these things. So anyway, because I own Topcat, which is the performance calculator, it actually integrates into the EFB. All right, so just to go one step back, here's our weather. So we've got a quick way of checking what the weather is doing. But here in the performance now, this is interesting. This is now, okay, we need to make sure we've got all the correct information. So we're using runway 24. Yes, it's dry. We need to get the actual weight of the aircraft. We can get that from the OFB. Our takeoff weight is 66.5. 66,500. Right, over here we can select, we can force a certain flap value, or we can leave it at optimum. I'm going to leave it at optimum thrust. We can select if we want to force a derated takeoff, or we can let the program give us this thing. Okay, so what we're also going to do is air conditioning. We're going to have that on, obviously, as usual. This is not an airport where we switch those things off. We're not going to do bleeds off takeoff. There's no anti-ice required as far as I know. We'll just quickly look at the weather again just to make 100% sure. Weather. Yeah, no, there's no moisture reported, so that's fine. We're going to leave it at dry. And anti-ice off. Okay, now what, Kevin? Mine does not read my weather from the actual sim. I have to use the real world weather thing. Okay.
Yeah, that's because you're using xEnviro.
Yeah. So I just select that one. I click on the refresh. There it gets the actual necessary weather for us, and now we can calculate. Right, so what this thing gives us, it gives us options. First of all, it gives us the conditions that needs to be met. So it tells us we have to use flaps 1, that's the optimum flaps configuration for takeoff for this runway. We have to do a derated 1 for the takeoff. The runway is dry, it tells us our weight, the air conditioning is on and the anti-ice is off. So those conditions we need to meet in the aircraft. Then it's up to us. Do we want to actually derate or not? If we do not derate, this is full thrust. This is what it predicts our V-speeds and things will be, as well as the N1. Now, before we get to it, I want to tell you that even though we can match our V-speeds currently with the Zibo, the N1 is out, and depending on how far down you go with your derates, it goes out even more. So I'm not worried about that. I just want to make sure at this point in time, until one day somebody fixes this, that we have a fairly decent V-speeds. Now, in the real world, if you have your OPT with you and you calculate these values, and your FMC is out by more than 1 knot, it's illegal to fly that thing. Okay, so it's very strict, very, very strict. And what I found by just playing a little bit now in the week is this thing comes within 1 knot, and 1 knot is still legally acceptable. Okay, so we're going to see if we're lucky enough to get it the same. We can do, let's do 2 options here. Normally the one that they show you with the 2 little marks there, that's what they recommend for the optimum. I personally prefer to just put a little bit more power in there. So I'll take probably a 30, a derated 30 degrees for the SAL temperature to derate properly there. Or I'm going to do that one. So let's first do this one. Let's see how close we get to our values. So we know that it's 8 degrees. The FMC concurs. It says it's 8 degrees. Alright, then it says we need to do a derated takeoff of 1. Who's suffering? Sorry. Oh, same man, Scotsman. Sorry, I don't read there at this time, guys. Hope you feel better soon. Okay, so to continue. So we're going to do a thrust derate 1. We've set the thrust derate 1. Right, so in here it doesn't really specify whether we should use a derated climb. On the charts you will see that there is a departure restriction, a couple of restrictions for us, altitude restrictions, between 4.5 and 6, between 5.5 and 6, and then 6. So we're not in a hurry to get out of here, so I'm going to show you what it looks like when we do a derated climb. Alright, so we're going to do derate to 1 on the thrust, but derate climb 2, because we're going to fly for quite a few miles before we have to think of climbing, and then we can take it from there. Okay, then what we're going to do is now we need to remember we are on this line, okay? I'm going to go to the takeoff page. Select flaps 1. I need to get that thing out of there. Let me just pull it, I'll put it back just now once we're done. Alright, and then we have...
Ready for pre-flight procedure.
Okay, so let's check them. So for flaps 1, thrust derate to 1, and on, well, we've got 66.5, but this is the limit. Up to that, this will be true. So they give us V1 yeah, thanks, man. Sorry, but I'm getting sidetracked now. Alright, so V1 is between 146 to 148. Okay, it's 145, so that's true. VR is set to 148. I see we've got 146. So technically in the real world, what I've been told, speaking on what I've been told, basically this is a problem. Now somebody needs to look at this, because why are we out by 2? Okay, in the simulation we're not that fussy, but we're gonna anyway try see what we can do to get it better. And then obviously V2 is 154. Again, that's 1 knot out there, so it's close but no cigar. So what I want to do is I want to just look at a flex temperature there. Let's quickly see the SAL temperature. Go back to performance N1. What we're going to do is I'm going to take 30 degrees, and then we're going to see how close we get to that. We'll obviously delete the speeds. Right, the V speeds. Okay, so we need to start again. Right, we've now set everything, and you can see because we derated, it's also fiddled there with our setup there. Right, you can see here the N1, it says according to the tables it's 89.7, but the Zibo's way more. So the Zibo's got lots more power than what this program thinks it does have. So let's go for the next page. Again, we flaps 1. CG didn't change. We just have more speeds. And this is the line we look at. So we have 145 will fit between 147 and 148. Then we have the 148, which is there, 146, 153 at least. So the first two, but not the rotate. They match. So again, it's close but no cigar. Probably it could be related to rounding or something to that effect. It could also be that we need to just tweak the profile a little more for the top cap. But anyway, so the fact of the matter is there isn't a tool that you can now use to do all these calculations. Lots of people, ask me, asked me in the past 2-3 years, where do I get the SL temperature? And this is the tool that I basically use. Now I can use it standalone, I don't need the EFP, but this is basically where it comes from. And if I don't use the tool, it's a thumb suck, really. Because of all the years of doing it, you can, you know, work out kind of a rule of thumb, get it kind of close. So
If any of you haven't understood all this, please don't shout out, just put your hand up or I'll get to you.
yeah, if you need me to explain something or what, hello Uncle John, by the way. You know, we'll
John.
But don't shout out, just put your hand up.
yeah, okay, no, that's fine. Anyway, guys, no, you're welcome. I mean, this is just a quick overview. Just wanted to show you. I've been fiddling with the Takeoff performance since Sunday, right? And for those of you that are not familiar with this new website, which actually was the second catalyst. The first one was the EFB. The second one was this virtual performance tool. I don't know if you guys actually saw this website already. I can just show you there. We had a nice live demo from the developer, and I spent quite a bit of time with him. He's got a much more updated database than the Top Cat one. Okay, so it's much more updated. This is the website, and in here it's currently in demo mode. It's going to be payware, okay, where you buy a subscription to use it once it goes live. But basically this does all the same calculations for you, so you can go and put your information in there. Let's quickly grab it again. Close the site. We said payload is 18.6. Okay, now hang on, we need to take off. It's 66,500. 66,500, and we can get. Hello, Hendrik. We can get the takeoff CG from here. So the takeoff CG is 22. We're going to. Oh, I'm not showing you. There it is. 22. So I can put 22 in there. Okay, we're not at the same airport. The demo is limited to which airports can be used, so I'm just going to use just one to show you quickly. Alright, condition dry. You can download the weather there quickly. You've got all your normal parameters, and you simply click calculate, and there you go. This is now obviously the tool. The second catalyst I was telling you about that actually works out a couple of things for us, so let's just quickly go there. Okay, this is not the same runway or same weather conditions, so it's obviously going to be out a little bit, but this is currently the latest and greatest database that is available for doing calculations like this. And again, it is what it is. So yeah, you guys are encouraged and welcome to go and check, or welcomed and encouraged to go check out this website. I'm going to quickly give you the link. You can just go play with it. Alright. Paste. Right. So that takes care of that. This, we're ready to go. I'm going to start my APU and then finish last bits of setup.
Hello, Nico.
Hello, Krister.
I have a question, sort of.
Yeah.
I've been playing around with the iBlasoft and TopCat connection.
Yeah.
And performance calculator, and I had to derate even more than the recommended in the TopCat version. But the main focus I have is to make sure I have a safe roll, a safe takeoff.
Of course.
Yeah, so the Torah, also the distance remaining, on takeoff. That's the main issue. So, if I have 1900 feet left after I take off, I can do some more duration if I like.
Of course.
Yeah. So the main thing is you have to be safe on the road.
Yes.
Yeah.
That
That's
is
the main
true.
focus, and then after that you can play around and test different values, of course.
Of course, of course. I'm going to quickly send you my Zibo profile for Top Cat because it sounds like your profile isn't spot on. So then you can try it, because if you look at this video now, you'll see my profile is very close. I've had it closer, which leads me to believe it could be a rounding issue or something airport specific. But there you go. I've just sent you that file. It's a little text file that you need to put in your Top Cat configurations.
Yeah, I'm very thankful because I have to do a lot more duration in order to be
I understand.
optimal.
Yeah, I understand. Give that one a bash, then we see.
Thank you, sir.
All right. So Hendrik, to answer your question, no. We are talking about it. We are planning on finishing this one. You guys have probably seen there is provision for it already, the takeoff thing. We need to talk more with the developers on both sides, both TopCat as well as the website. We need to look, there's actually a spreadsheet now involved and a couple of other things that other team members have brought to the table. I'm very impressed with the website I just showed you, and I encourage you to go have a look, find it if you want to. But, it's too early to make a decision or to say actually yes or no. But at this time, no, it's not going to come in here today or tomorrow. It's something that we've been keeping on ice for like 2 years already. And when we find a viable partner or a viable database, the decision will be made which way to go, whether we incorporate, that website or a static database that we get or whatever. But at this time, no, it's not going to happen right now. Okay, a couple of things need to happen before we get there. Now, for those of you that are not familiar, this landing performance page is actually already implemented. It works, so you can calculate your landing, and when we do the flight, I might as well use this to show you what it looks like. Okay, it's very nice. It's really, really very nice.
We've got the user driving up. Captain has turned on the fasten seatbelt sign. We do ask that all passengers take your seat at this time and please fasten your seatbelt. Just as a reminder, we cannot leave the gate until carrying items are properly put away. All overhead bins are closed and all passengers are seated.
Yeah.
How many hands did you say go?
Not one. John?
I saw 4 hands go up, John.
Yeah. I obviously didn't pay attention, it seems.
I've got the devil in
Golden Harbor Records, ready for that.
I'm going to use performance landing.
I beg your pardon, are you going to use it?
Yes.
Good. Excellent. Alright, I am taking a chance. I'm going to obviously pre-program. We've pre-selected runway 30 according to the wind, so I'm just going to start pre-programming everything. So it's a reasonably short flight. Then we can rather have a quick chat or something, or a longer chat.
So is correct for the Australia Anson. Who is the parking deck when ready? Flight attendants prepare for departure, cross-check and all call, thank you.
Right, so we're just waiting for Trish to close the door, load sheet, and then we go.
Alright, got everyone strapped in. Give us a ring if you need anything.
Before start procedure.
Before start procedure.
Sam gate, it's going to open it.
Before start procedure complete. Ready for before start checklist.
Okay, starting for Buckner and you may have your engines.
Next
Start
question.
number
okay?
2 engine. Okay, Uncle John.
Starting number
In
2 engine.
Zibo's performance lap win, there's a heading there, Mac G. What is it?
No, that's the MACG. That is your, I think that has got to do with the actual gradient at which you're going to descend. That is like your glide slope.
Sure, thank you.
I'm
So,
th-
what do? We leave that at
25
2.5?
and 2.
Yeah, unless you go into, what is that French airport with the lake where we have to do a 4-degree approach, then you have to change it.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you. You've answered my question. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh, Uncle John, I hope I'm right.
Oh, it sounds logical.
Yeah. I think that's what I picked up what it is.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Starter cutout.
Start number 1 engine.
Starting number 1 engine.
Excellent. Oh yes, this is something I also want to show you. If I didn't already, so much, but let me just show you this.
25 and 2.
Disconnecting tail, please stand by.
Right, so in this Ivlosoft EFB, you've got your airport layout, so it makes taxiing quite easy. You can have this on a separate screen like me. And then obviously you go back to your actual flight view. But this is cool because now it just makes it easy when
Engine start
ATC
procedure
gives you your
complete.
instructions. Everything is right there, and you can also zoom in. Okay, you can't move it all over the place, but it is movable as you can see. Right, that wind's again behind us. Right, so we are done with the engine start up.
Disconnected, that's been removed, the pin will be on the left. Have a safe flight, see you after.
Right, and now, the funny thing is now we need to remember it's only a flaps 1 takeoff. Flaps 1. So
Ready
then
for before
go to
taxi
flaps
procedure.
5.
Flaps 1 set.
Thank you, Linda. Right. Let's go. Right, the map in the EFB is obviously a moving map, so you constantly see the movement of your aircraft It's easy enough to keep track of where your
Taxi
parts are.
lights on.
What did she just say? So we can go here. See this taxi layout is not exactly the same. Close enough.
By the time it's for takeoff, please.
Okay, the cabin is secured. Have a good flight.
Because the layout isn't 100%, it's picking out. Let's see. No, that's the right taxiway. It makes it easy to spot the issues now. Good luck, Reggie. Now, one of the things I want you guys to have a look at is this takeoff roll. It's going to take forever to get in the air. In that performance calculator, it gives you how much runway you will have left, or estimated runway that you will have left. So you've got to really make sure you choose the correct settings. Otherwise, you're going to end up at the pub a little bit earlier than anticipated for takeoff procedure.
Before takeoff procedure.
You'll also see when we do the climb. It's going to be normal until about 1,500, then that setting kicks in, and then it's going to just go.
Before takeoff procedure complete. Ready for before takeoff checklist.
Uncle John and I spoke about Gatwick earlier.
Stabilized.
And the
Approaching
takeoff there,
2-4.
You have to stay down low at 6,000 feet for many miles. It's like this one also. Many miles, you stay at 6,000 feet. Then you can only climb. So there's no reason in configuring your
On
aircraft to
runway
fly
24.
It's like a rocket. Right, so that is done. Let's go. Thrust. Let's go. So keep your eye on the roll, the long roll, as well as the lazy climber.
Takeoff thrust set. Acceleration altitude.
So you sit up there, it doesn't want to get out of the pilot. There we go. So you'll see it's We're really gonna have a bit of a lazy climb now. So maybe I'll stop. That's right. I'll accelerate it. When you go fly this yourself, you'll see it's a totally different game from just firing up everything, pushing the rockets. Let it run.
Oh yes. It's as you say, it's much softer, but it's also more pleasant.
Yeah.
Actually, it's not like a rocket, but it's more
Flaps
pleasant,
upset.
and it's not that fast, and it's a bit slower. That gives you time to look around a lot more, have better control.
Yeah.
Approaching transition.
Now the trick here obviously is you don't want to
1000
bust
to
the
level up.
altitude, so let's quickly look at that. Just watch it. So when you look at the chart, you will see that you are not talking flight level, you are actually talking altitude. And to get altitude and to stay on altitude,
Transition altitude.
you have to keep your barometer setting, you know, in hectopascal or in
Approaching
inches
transition.
FAA area.
Transition level.
You can't
Ready for
change that to
approach
standard
checklist.
because there's going to be a significant height difference, especially on a QNH like this. There's going to be a significant height difference. You're going to bust your altitude, which you don't want to do. Yeah, I see it actually did bust it. Not much, just a little bit. So, okay, but you have to be careful. Once you leave this VOR, and that's 6,000 foot, I beg your pardon. Yeah, no, sorry, I didn't see the top line. I see it. Okay, so that's a hard 6,000. You need to be at 6,000 right there. Once you leave it, you start climbing all kinds of other things. You've got to be careful. Now, I know not everybody simulates to the same level of realism, but I hope that makes sense to you. Just got to keep it on altitude before you go past the altitude. Switch the data switch on our EFS. It tells you your ETA as well as the restriction. 5.5 above is 26,000.
But you still made it to 6,000 very early.
Yeah, I did, but you know, is what it is. It wasn't the rocket, it was just it. Remember, this is not stand state, this is EGPH when I'm taking off. And if you look at the chart, Krister, you have to climb a little bit to meet the first restriction, 6,004.5. So after that beacon over there, if you make the turn, you need to be above 4,000 already and just below 6,000 for that first one. So that one is a bit fast. And then once we hit this VOR over there, pass it, in the real world it says somewhere here, I read it, do not climb. So we don't climb until we have the authorization. See, the SID requires a minimum climb gradient of 7.4% up to 4,500 due to ATC and airspace restrictions. So it had to climb, even though we derated it, it made sure that it climbed fast. But go try this at standstill, you'll be amazed. It's totally different. Okay.
guess so.
I've asked Kevin to wake me if I fall asleep, and if he falls asleep, will you just make sure you wake him too?
Yeah, well, do. No problem.
I didn't sleep well last night at all. And I've been working and working until 5 p.m. again.
I don't care. You don't nap up. 9 o'clock tonight.
I'm trying, that's why I'm asking you help.
You awake, Kevin?
Oh goodness, he went to sleep first.
Kevin?
What do you want to bet he's talking to his wife or he's having a ciggy and a coffee?
I'll smack his lips.
You mean you can't hear me? No.
Ah, that's all right. Now I can.
Well, we woke
You
him.
were snoring.
I kept one eye open, John.
That's no good. I want both of them open. I'm waiting for Paul to come online.
Yeah, I want to hear his stories today.
Long last, one of our major team players has upgraded his PC. We'll wait to see what it's like.
We're still on that QMH.
Oh, we were waiting for the passing the TLA, and then we got talking about the sleeping. Uncle John,
Yes, sir.
it feels like I did fall asleep, sir.
Flight level 100.
But
we
didn't.
Landing light switches off.
Promise me you didn't.
No, I didn't really, but my mind wasn't that sharp, and Krista had to remind me to press standard now because we passed TLA.
Thank
I
you,
was-
Krista.
See,
Thank you, Krista. At least I've got somebody helping me out.
It's a good job. It's a good job Krista's awake.
Yeah, it is.
Keep an eye on Kevin as well for me, Krista. I'll be two of us then.
Yeah. I'll sing some lullaby songs.
No, don't do that, please.
Okay. I don't know it.
Got a cowbell. Bell, will that help?
okay. Well, gents, while this thing is climbing, I'm gonna quickly grab a few bites of my dinner. So I'm listening, and I'm here if you leave messages. I'll respond as soon as I can, but I'm eating my dinner.
Make sure you drink a cup of coffee as well.
Yeah, I've got water. So. Okay, but doesn't matter. I'll be back.
Redoing that flight, Kev. Runway again. I'm sleeping.
Are you having trouble hearing me?
Ah, I can hear you now.
I keep talking to you.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't. Your light doesn't go on, so you're not talking.
Well, it's going on my end. Anyway, listen, I've got to go for a cup of coffee now because you mentioned it.
You want a coffee and a ciggy cap.
That's it. I'll be back in 2 shakes of a donkey's tail.
You wouldn't let it lie.
You wouldn't let it lie.
Yeah, I'm redoing that flight, Richard.
Is it very nice?
Not kidding.
Yeah, I loaded everything else's listing. I had frame rate problems with the next plane.
I've got to do it. I can't move on to the next leg.
So yeah, I've had those frame rate problems. So what I've done, I've gone into
I've seen it. What's that?
install. I've gone into the install page and I've updated X plane. There's an update plane there, so hopefully that will solve the problem. So everyone else has that. Worth a try. So, it's with all decks. So really suffer.
Well,
It's time to wake up.
thank you. You don't want it that make us snow, by the way.
Yeah, me too. I'm thinking about Kevin and Nick.
Kevin's gone for the ciggy and a coffee to wake him up.
I'm still here. I'm just chewing, man. Just give me a minute or two.
Okay. Or else I'll round the cowbell one more
I've been double checking.
I actually like that sound. We must use it when we have a competition again, you know, to announce a winner or something.
Yeah, yeah. I found it on YouTube. Cowbells sound really fun.
I love it. It's even nice when you've got sound surround speakers. It sounds really good.
Yeah. Just joking.
Christer,
Sir.
it's better than the Blue Oyster Bar song.
Oh, definitely. Oh my god, yes. That's a relief because it's not here anymore. But it was a fun joke. I wonder how Mr. Hawkins.
Yeah, I miss him too.
What's that? I missed that name.
Mr. Hawkins.
Oh, Mr. Harkin, yeah. I mean, he came on briefly, didn't he, for about a week. Kept popping in, and then he's disappeared again.
Yeah, but by then back then he was busy working a lot. So.
I might drop him a line.
I'm back, John.
He's back. Krista, you can stand down for Kevin for a bit.
Okay, Kevin is back.
He's away.
I've got coffee in a fag, so I'll not be sleeping.
Good lad.
Okay, I closed down my cowbells.
Good.
I'm not for listening. It's very relaxed at the outside.
Thanks, dude.
Well, now it's my turn to get the coffee refill.
Go for it.
Good, man.
I've not seen many hands up asking questions. Any questions?
I'm nearly sure I saw Neil's hand.
Did you? Raj, possibly?
Hello, Tommy, and I'm back, guys.
1000 to level off.
1,000 to go.
You can stand down, John. It goes back.
Okay. Thank you.
We'll be entering the danger zone in about 10-15 minutes. Back in minute. So it's a 64. So it's right, so 35 and 40 is weather. Nice, but it's just right. And we say 64. actual gust is 35. So you put the gusting component, the difference on there, up to a maximum of 20. So that will be 10, 11, 12. It will be 12 plus 10. That makes it 22, which means we can't do that. So we can only increase our speed by 20. Okay. So auto brake 3 we're guessing. We're going to go for 20. The increase in speed that we have to add. So 20 over there. Calculate it so it's working for us or not. Right, so it says our approach speed will be 147. This is spot on 147.
Ready for
The
descent
approach
procedure.
speed will be 161, so that's out by about 1. But now we need to also remember, because we put the plus 20 in there, our actual approach speed is going to be 167. Right, so we're going to be almost at the red line. We have to be very careful not to have to drop it. Then it says auto brake 3 will give us a margin 547 meters that will remain on the runway, so I think that's sufficient. When we take auto brake 2, we'll only have 86 meter margin, so that's kind of in an emergency conditions. That's not favorable in my opinion. So you're either going to take that or you're going to take that. Right. Now the one thing that is very logical, but in the flight sim world we don't talk about it, is if you do an auto brake 3 brake, your brakes need to cool off for 25 minutes before you go anywhere again. If you do a max auto brake, okay, depending on certain parameters, you have to wait 55 minutes before you can taxi there. So when you take things like that in the real world into perspective, into consideration, you know, you're going to mess up your flight schedule if you go auto max, because it's not going to help you
Especially if
with
it's a
your
company like Ryanair.
I beg your pardon?
Especially if you think about airlines like Ryanair, quick
Yeah.
turnarounds.
Yeah. So you've got to be really wide awake with this. Okay, so I'm happy. The 147 is actually there. It tells us it suggests we use auto brake 3. So I'm going to turn mine on here. Already, that's brake 3. It's going to move this out of the way quickly. So we have 64,100. Remember, that is our tonnage that we weigh currently. I'm just going to bring this down so we take too long, this thing will actually descend and not leave us hanging. Where's my release? By the way, guys, this thing needs to be docked for this thing to work. Just remember that if you pull it out the dock, it starts to work. Right, it's dry. We're going to leave that up. Doesn't change. It's dry, that's correct. So let's look at the sweet situation again. So we have 270 at 20 custody. I see this one actually adds information for us. I'll have to see how accurate this is, but where he gets that from for our purposes. The upside data picture. 6. And we said 64.
Nico,
Yeah.
I don't know about you, how you do it, but when I have gusting winds, I take half of the gusting winds and add to the airport winds. If you have 20 knots on the airport, I add half of the gusting wind to that landing performance.
Krista, as far as I know, it's half of the headwind plus the gusting
Approach top
component.
of
So
descent.
what you take is, you take 20 minus whatever the gust is, say 32 or something. That leaves you with 12, and then you take half of the 20, which is 10, that gave us 22. So,
Yeah.
So I'm going to leave this on all brakes. You'll see why I put this on all brakes when we look at the graphic just now. So we want to see where each one of them will be. The AC or leads will be on, and the ice will be off. All the brakes that we said just now is on. These other things that we go to page 2. And over here you will see it also recommends the brake 3. That's the 167. So it's BRF 30 plus 20, which is 147 plus 20. Okay. So this is freaking cutting it very finely. In terms of the Top Cat one, they had a more favorable look and feel to it, to be honest. Okay, and national factor. Oh, I didn't see where the leads are. Let me see. It says 558 margin on the brake 3. That one gives us much less of a margin. I think in terms of the Zibo, I'll trust the Zibo here more than I trust something else. Let's see. So when it comes down to, I'm going to leave that there just as a reference one. And I see we're all ready to send. See, Ever. Uncle John,
Yes, sir.
did you see me do forward planning there? Did you see?
No, I'm going to be honest with you. No, I'm not tuning in with you, Nico. I'm merely listening.
Okay. That's fine. I just wanted to tell you I did some forward planning there.
Okay.
Uncle John was tried one day. He said I need to learn how to do forward planning when he was here visiting. Remember, Uncle John?
Oh, yes. Talk is very important for planning.
Yes, of course.
There-
Well, I've got auto brake 3 is now set there. So, no, we don't want auto brake 1. If we take auto brake 1, we're going to meet you in the pub, so.
No, I'm doing my own landing.
Oh, are you talking about your own landing? Okay, now you're.
I'm still unfortunately on my left.
That looks a little bit more respectable. See, this does not take into account the actual custom. When I quickly do the mental arithmetic, I can see where it gets that. That comes from there. That's very cool that you made it. Thank you, Zibo. Very cool. But because we've got the gusts, the gusting component is 12. So that's still very cool. If I see I'm going to run out of, I'll just jump on my toe brakes. Let's give it a bash. Let's see how accurate this is going to be.
Yeah, it'll be interesting because it's a fairly short runway.
should you not? Sorry, Nick, I was going to say, should you, in that particular case that you're looking at, should you not, in the performance calculator, put it to let it pick which flaps are the best for landing?
That's a good idea, Kevin. Because yeah, Kevin is awake.
Everybody's awake. Well, in Zibo's it doesn't give you that, so let's do it in the
40, that's 40.
Yeah, that will be interesting.
But I believe if you have gusting component 12 and 20, that's 32. So I'm not sure the aircraft is going to stay on flaps 40. So automatically it will fly 30.
It will.
What's the limit?
Well, if we use flap 30 with 20 knot added onto the VREF, we're going to be like within 3 knots of the red line of VNE, the never exceed speed. And if you pull flaps 40 there, I don't know exactly where it's going to be, but it's going to be in it, so to break your flaps, or it won't go.
Yeah, exactly.
Not go.
Exactly. That's why I'm asking, what's the limit for flaps 40?
I'll have a look on the placard now. Anyway, gents, there is no auto flap selection for landing. This is a decision you need to make. There is no selection. Okay, wrong place. You see, you don't have an auto. You've got to make the decision, and in this case, it will be flaps 30.
Yeah. Okay.
So what is the plus on the landing speed that you've got, Nico?
20. Now I use my keyboard to type in 20. I might reduce it by 1 or 2 depending on how close to BNE it is. I don't want to damage the flaps and I don't want to struggle to descend. Just already just reduce it. Just make it for me. Come on, Uncle John.
Sorry, sir?
You missed my snoring.
No, I don't miss your snoring, Nico. I'm going to be honest with you. And I don't think your wife misses it either.
Okay, you changed the whole story, but anyway.
Bless her.
1000 to level off.
Could you show us the placards for?
Oh yes.
Crash onto
162 for flaps 40. And if we go flaps 30, that is 175 is max, right? Which means that I'm going to be 8 knots from VN.
Yeah. Thank you. I flew from Innsbruck today. airplane takeoff with a turn in the valley. And then you
But that runway is so short. How can you do that there?
Yeah, and
it was possible.
Because you were very wide.
No. I had 66 tons. So it was derated. But I was testing the derated modes of Tomcat. So it told me I would have a 300 feet margin on the road.
That's good.
Yeah.
So what did you do? Go out lights?
So I did. So and I checked when I took off. I did have 300 feet margin.
Excellent.
Yeah. And the engines was 90 M1, all the turn and climbing still.
Thanks, Tommy. Thank you.
Yeah.
Air green. Nice view.
1000 to level
That
up.
was really interesting. When I took off from Valencia today, I was climbing north over the mountains and I did a cutback, derated and cutback takeoff for noise abatement. So yeah, and it works really nice. It's working really nice.
Yeah, it gives you something additional to think about, you know, to concentrate a bit more, pay attention.
It's a completely different level, you know. It's much smoother takeoff and smoother climb and everything. It's really more pleasant to fly. And instead of just sitting and jumping around in the aircraft like a rocket, it's very smooth. Nico,
Yes.
Tommy's
Yeah. I've just set it lower. How's that, Tommy? Is that better? I've turned down the master mode on the aircraft. Okay. Well, you guys must feel free to tell me. I can't hear it, you know, so I've got no reference to what's loud and what's not, you know, so if you guys don't tell me, I wouldn't know, so I appreciate it. Thanks, Tommy. Now I just need to stay awake for the landing. Uncle John,
Yes, sir.
talk to me.
I'm keeping an eye on you.
Yeah, but keep me awake. You mustn't just look at me. You know, when I fall asleep and you feel sorry for me, you might leave me to sleep.
It's all right. We've got a cowbell.
Oh, yes. Thanks, Christer.
Do you need the cowbell again?
No. But if I fall asleep, yes.
I just closed it down.
Shame. No, it's fine.
Flight level 100. Landing lights switches on.
If you want to stay awake, Nico, why don't you hand fly that teardrop?
Krister, I'm so tired I might not make it. And then everybody says, ah, look at him, look at him.
Start hand flying instead, Nico. It keeps you awake.
It's okay, Krister, I'm not that bad.
3, 2, 2.
Check all my courses and frequencies again.
Well, it's great fun to fly the hand fly the teardrops.
Oh yeah, but then you gotta be proper awake, not just half awake. There you go.
It's a nice approach, this one. Teardrop.
Yeah.
I like it coming into this one.
I haven't flown in Cardiff in a while, so this is. And I saw it's on the route that I can take it. Just had to take it.
Well, what happens in Cardiff then?
I don't know, but I'm sure we can find a coffee shop.
Wayne's coffee shop.
Yeah, Wayne's coffee shop.
Yeah.
Approaching transition.
We'll send out a message over Facebook to whoever stays in Cardiff to come join us. Imagine that. It's so cool.
We have to start a quiz about Cardiff.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it, so I wouldn't be able to answer it.
Maybe
Yeah.
Reggie knows.
A famous female singer came from Cardiff.
Yeah.
Oh? Yeah.
Shirley Bassey.
Yeah, I know you'd know, John. Test respect. Yeah, Shirley Bassey. Yeah. Tiger Bay.
That's it.
Well, we know about Liverpool and the Yellow Submarine, but yeah. I wonder what we can tell about
Flaps
Cardiff.
5 set.
Well, Krister, where we come from, we've got two types of towns. You know, you've got the good guys, and then you've got the other side of the railway where
Transition
the
level.
kids bite the dogs.
Ready for
You know,
approach
so
checklist.
I'm not sure where Cardiff would fit into those two parameters, but we're gonna find out. We're gonna go there now. So.
Good. You need to set your QNH.
Oh, he's dropping off. Keep an eye on him.
He is dropping off.
I am. It's 966. 96.
Come on. That must be up there.
Is there someone flying in the bush again?
Yeah. All right. Right. What's going on here?
What's the speed restriction here?
There's the cowbell.
Mm-mm.
Are you awake, Nico?
Yep.
To level off.
Thousand to go.
Localizer capture.
Yo, son. That's going to be an interesting landing.
Glide slope capture.
Radio altimeter.
Okay, so just to show you guys, there's V&E over there, that's your red band, you don't go into that, otherwise you get down to run the big report. So we said VRF plus 15, that's what we settled on, because I mean that would have taken us to 167, which is, what did we say, 8 knots, which is close. So here we go, this is us now. I'll disengage the auto throttle at some point in time if I see it's okay to do so, and then just land.
Yeah, good luck, Nico.
Thank you, I'm gonna need it with the sun. Yeah.
I think I'll make a prediction.
167 tonight. Live dangerously, Kevin. Christopher. I mean, looking at Kevin's name and I'm saying Kevin.
172.
Well, I'll say 170.
1,000.
1,000 feet stabilized, Mr. Birch.
I got 167.
Man, this week. Wow.
If Krista wins again, I'm not playing anymore.
Ready? No, mate.
But you can get all my free copies of the Zibo book if you like.
Yeah,
Approaching.
then
3,
you
0.
can test it before you give it to him.
Yeah, for me they're used and old, the old ones. You can have them if you like, no worries.
God, that speed drops off. You see why you need a margin. If you guys pay attention, you see that speed. Look at that tendency vector coming down so fast, so far, and then it goes back up again. Wow. Right, well, here we are.
Approaching decision height.
Right, flying
400, 300, 200.
Working. Look at that tree right there.
100.
Got the
50,
3.
40, 30, 20, 10.
Come.
5,000 feet
Reverse unlocked.
remaining.
Speed brake up. Auto brake in use.
I'm gonna see where we stopped dead. Yeah, man, there's no claw. Relax. Oh, so
60 knots.
everybody's complaining that's
Yeah.
loud. Sorry, guys.
Great landing.
All
You
right,
are
so
professional.
have a look. See how far did we stop from the end? That's our margin.
Yeah, you have plenty.
Yeah.
I'd say that's 500 meters.
I have no idea. I'll have to go check in the controls.
It's about
You can see.
it's about 1,500 feet. No. No, I'm sorry. It's not. It's
The-
about 1,200 feet.
Yeah, the runway is 7,723 feet. That's 2,354 meters. And that's where we stopped.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've got a little bit more margin. You see what happened is when I take
On
over,
runway
I can
30,
feel the thrust,
on
you know, and I
runway
can
30.
reduce it a little bit. I obviously try and keep it still a little bit higher, but it's not. That's what I want to put on screen. You know, it's not running at the full extra 15 knots. I mean, at some point there obviously came below the 162 mark. So I think if you manage your thrust properly, I mean, that's why that number 3 line is probably moved now to there on that drawing, you know, somewhere there. Just because I managed my... No, I don't show you. Let me take this off. Because I reduced my speed from the 162 down, it's obviously, you know, come down. I've managed it better than what the prediction was, and I think that's the big thing, is that's your outer limit. You don't want to go past the outer limit, so you have to run the brake 3 and get it over with. Is the reversers off now? Okay, Tommy, enjoy, and thanks 737. Okay, well, yeah, we survived, you know, we were in the limits, we did it.
Yeah, you can go to the coffee shop.
Yeah.
I understand. I altitude problems recently, been a little bit too high, so everything looked right once again, but I took over from about 5,000 feet out to hand flying, which was okay. It's confusing me why that's happening.
There's only one reason why you can be high. Two reasons: you're flying it high, or the other reason is your barometer setting is wrong. That your barometer in X-plane is different to what you think it
Flaps
is.
upset.
You'll have to check.
996, I've got it set, yeah.
Yeah, but then you need to make sure that the weather that's in your sim actually reflects 996. See? So one day me and Zibo were doing testings, and I had the same problem, and he said to me, go to the map, you press M on the keyboard, you go to the airport, zoom in, click on the airport details, and then it will tell you what the actual barometer setting should be that X-plane sees, because it needs to be the same. So,
I understand.
So that's the discrepancy that we worked on, or found, and then could work on and fix.
And I did 40 flaps as well, Krista.
Oh,
change.
nice, bird. Nice, nice.
Yeah, it's
I
alright. It does help
always
keep
do-
the speed down on short runway, I have to say.
Yeah, I always do flaps 40 if when able to. It's really
Okay.
nice.
Okay, I have to leave now for the dinner, so thanks for your company, and I'll
Yeah,
catch you later.
same. Bye.
On the
Yeah.
frame rates,
Yeah.
Kevin,
Yeah.
frame rates, I didn't turn anything else on. It wasn't London, mind you, but they stayed at around 35, 36 all the way through.
Nice.
Oh, right, that's good.
Yeah, so maybe that update has actually done something. The next time I do one is over London, find out what happens and turn something else on. Okay, bye then, everybody.
All right,
Cheers,
catch you
Richie.
later, Ed.
Bye bye.
What update's he on about, Kevin?
He updated his X-plane apparently, so he wasn't on the latest X-plane, but all of us are. We've been there a
Yeah.
long time.
Yeah, a long time
Right.
ago.
What's he playing at?
Well, he never did it. Just
I don't think he ever knew how to get to the point where it says update.
probably.
Okay. Okay.
Bye guys. Bye Hendrik. Sorry, I'm reading what you're typing. Bye Hendrik. Bye Blay.
That was good timing, Nico. Me coming in at the same time as you.
Yeah.
You had a landing rate of 155.
Me.
Yeah. I think Uncle John won this time.
Okay. In the VA software it says 160, so that's good enough.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No.
It was 155 on the screen.
You see, it's two different systems, Christer. So I mean, don't feel bad. It's two different systems.
I was 172. Kevin was 170.
Yeah. So it looks like Krista won
167.
again. Oh, Krista won again then.
I won again. Oh my god.
Christer,
I don't want to be banned again. Please.
Christer, no, I'll tell you what you do not to get banned. Okay, there's a cheap trick. Send me 6 numbers between 1 and 49.
You're so funny.
And just mention in the email that you make no claim to my lotto winnings, my lottery winnings when I win with your numbers.
You are the
Six numbers between 1 and 49.
Yeah.
Okay.
You are awake, Nico.
Yeah, I'm wide awake now. Right, so here we is. We made it. Oh no, I forgot to do this.
Right, that's that leg done. See where we're at.
You got him. But you have to pay for the lottery yourself.
That's fine. That's an easy thing to do.
Still got 8 to do. Hold on. Why, Nico?
Why, what? Shutdown procedure.
I've just done
Shutdown procedure.
my leg, and it says it's accepted it. I've come in here and it's not ticked.
Uncle John, it happens from time to time. We'll have to investigate later.
Ready for shutdown procedure.
Thank you for streaming, Nico and fellas.
Yeah, thanks for the company.
So I have a date with wifey.
All right, enjoy, Christer.
Okay.
Yeah, take care.
Bye.
3.5 hours on the shoot. That's naughty. That's naughty.
Did you file it through your ACARs, Uncle John?
Yeah.
Have a good one, Steve.
Shutdown procedure complete.
I can't wait to see this poor.
Ready for shutdown checklist.
Time to that. 6:45.
Righto, ladies and gentlemen, I see a lot of people just drop off here in the last few seconds, so the guys and girls remaining, please go have fun, enjoy whatever you do. I'm off now. Thanks for watching and all the support. Bye bye.
Bye.